Good day everyone. Welcome to our new lesson, and that is addition of dissimilar fractions. Before we proceed to addition of dissimilar fractions, let's try first to review. How do we add similar fractions? We all know that similar fractions are fractions with the same denominators. And to add, simply add your numerator. Copy your denominator and simplify the sum if possible. For example, 2 over 6 plus 3 over 6. The numerators are 2 and 3. So simply add that, you have 5. Then copy your denominator 6. So the sum is 5 over 6. But what if we are going to add dissimilar fractions? In adding dissimilar fractions, let's have the following steps. Number 1, change the dissimilar fractions to similar fractions by finding its equivalent fraction. Number 2, add the numerator and copy the denominator. Number 3, simplify the sum if possible. But what is an equivalent fraction? An equivalent fraction is a set of fractions with equal values. For example, we are going to get the equivalent fractions of 1/2, and that is 2 over 4, 3 over 6, and 4 over 8. How do we obtain those equivalent fractions? So from the set of counting numbers, you have to choose any number so that you can multiply it to 1/2. Take note, whatever you multiply to your numerator should also be multiplied to your denominator. So for here, you have 2 over 2. So when you multiply 1/2 and 2 over 2, you have 2 over 4. What if we have 3? So 1/2 times 3 over 3 equals 3 over 6. What if we have 4? So you have 1/2 times 4 over 4 is 4 over 8. So these are the equivalent fractions of 1/2. Another example, we want to find the equivalent fractions of 3/5. As posted, you have 6 over 10, 9 over 15, and 12 over 20. How do we obtain it? So again, we think for a number, and that is 2 over 2. Multiply to 3 over 5, that is 6 over 10. For 3 over 3, you have 9 over 15. And then for 4, you have 12 over 20. So those are the equivalent fractions of 3/5. So we are now ready to add dissimilar fractions. Now let's try the following. Number 1, we are going to add 1/2 and 1/3. To add, we have to find the equivalent fractions of 1/2 and 1/3. Let's start first with 1/2. So from our rule, you have to think for a number that we can multiply to 1/2. So that is 2 and 2, or 2 over 2. So 1/2 times 2 over 2 is 2/4. We have 3. So 1/2 times 3 over 3 equals 3/6. We also have 4. So 1/2 times 4 over 4 equals 4 over 8. You can also have 5, 6, and so on and so forth. Now let's proceed to 1/3. So also we have 2 over 2, you have 2 over 6. Multiply it by 3, you have 3 over 9. And multiplying it by 4, you have 4 over 12. So we are now ready to solve 1/2 and 1/3. And to solve that, from the set of equivalent fractions of 1/2 and 1/3, we are going to determine the equivalent fractions of both 1/2 and 1/3 with the same denominator, and that is 3 over 6 and 2 over 6. We are now ready to change 1/2 and 1/3 to 3 over 6 and 2 over 6 respectively. So there you have it. We can now add 3 over 6 and 2 over 6. That is 3 plus 2 is 5. Then copy your denominator, 6. So the answer is 5 over 6. How about 3 over 4 plus 1 over 6? Let's follow the same process. 1 you get the equivalent fraction of 3/4 and 1/6. So we multiply it by 2 over 2, you have 6 over 8. By 3 over 3, you have 9 over 12. And by 4 over 4, you have 12 over 60. Let's have 1 over 6. Multiplying it by 2 over 2, you have 2 over 12. Multiplying it by 3 over 3, you have 3 over 18. And multiplying it to 4 over 4, you have 4 over 24. Now, we are going to look onto the equivalent fractions with the same denominator. And that is, yes, 9 over 12 and 2 over 12. So, we are going to change 3 over 4 and 1 over 6 to its equivalent fraction. And that is 9 over 12 plus 2 over 12. And then we add 9 plus 2, that is 11. Copy your denominator 12, so the answer is 11 over 12. Let's take a look with this third example. 3 over 5 plus 2 over 3. We find the equivalent fractions of 3 over 5 and 2 over 3. Let's start with 3 over 5. Multiply it by 2 over 2, you obtain 6 over 10. Multiplying it by 3 over 3, you have 9 over 15. And multiplying it by 4 over 4, you have 12 over 20. How about 2/3? Multiply it by 2 over 2, you have 4 over 6. Multiply it by 3 over 3, you have 6 over 9. Multiplying it by 4 over 4, you have 8 over 12. And multiplying it by 5 over 5, you have 10 over 15. So we are done getting and finding the equivalent fractions of 3/5 and 2/3. So these are the equivalent fractions of 3/5 and 2/3. Now, we are going to identify the equivalent fractions of 2/3 and 3/5 with the same denominator, and that is 9 over 15 and 10 over 15. Now, we are ready to solve. So 3 over 5 plus 2 over 3 will become 9 over 15 plus 10 over 15. So to add, we simply add the numerator 9 and 10, that is 19. And then copy the denominator, that is 15. So we have 19 over 15. Now, I want you to look into the sum. The sum is 19 over 15. What kind of fraction is that? Yes, that is an improper fraction. If the sum is an improper fraction, you have to change the improper fraction to mixed number. How? Take a look at this. So we divide the numerator 19 by the denominator 15. So 19 divided by 15 is 1. Then we multiply 1 to 15, you have 15. Now subtract it. 19 minus 15 is equal to 4. So how are we going to express our answer into a mixed number? So follow this pattern. You have the quotient, the remainder, and the divisor. Your quotient is 1, your divisor is 15, and your remainder is 4. Following this pattern, we obtain 1 and 4 over 15. Did you get it? It's now time to apply what you have learned. What you're going to do is to find the sum of the following fractions. Number 1, 5 over 8 plus 2 over 4. Number 2, 3 over 9 plus 2 over 3. And number 3, 6 over 10 plus 1/2. In order for you to have ample time in solving this fraction, you may pause for a while the video. So it's time for us to check your work. So here are the answers. For number 1, you have 1 and 1/8. For number 2, you have 1. And for number 3, you have 1 and 1/10. So guys, how are your scores? If you got it all, excellent. But if you fail, there are still many chances. You're gonna do your best next time. Till our next discussion, see you soon.